Welcome to the Recaps channel. In today's video, we'll recap The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. Let's get started. While watching a movie with her boyfriend, a young woman named Maria gets kidnapped, while her boyfriend gets killed. Meanwhile, in Los Angeles, Hollywood actor Nicolas Cage is driving to a hotel to meet a director. He asks for a movie role but gets rejected because he's been passed over for major roles before. He's also troubled by a younger, more successful version of himself named Nikki. His relationship with his ex-wife, Olivia, and daughter, Addie, is strained due to emotional neglect. Olivia asks him to attend Addie's birthday party to mend their relationship. Nick goes to a spa with his agent, Richard, to relieve stress. While there, Richard tells him about a vague offer of $1 million to meet a billionaire playboy in Majorca and be the guest of honor at his birthday. Nick is initially uninterested, despite being in debt. Later, he goes to Addie's birthday party and learns that he lost a role, which infuriates him. Drunk, Nick takes over the party and embarrasses his daughter by playing the piano and singing. After the party, Olivia takes Nick home and urges him to resolve things with Addie. Desperate, he calls Richard and agrees to take the vague offer and quit his job later. The next day, Nick flies to Majorca, where two CIA agents, Martin and Vivian, are waiting to find a local crime boss, but they're surprised to see Nicolas Cage instead. Martin cancels their mission, but Vivian disobeys and approaches Nick, pretending to be a fan. While asking for a photo with Nick, Vivian sneaks a tracker into his jacket pocket so they can locate him later. Nick meets the billionaire, Javi, who hired him for a movie. Javi is a big fan of Nick and wants him to be part of his upcoming film. He introduces his cousin, Lucas, and his assistant, Gabriella, who also praise Nick's legendary status in the movie industry. The next morning, Javi takes Nick to see the famous cliffs in Spain. During the drive, Javi pulls a prank as part of a scene from his script, annoying Nick initially, but Javi keeps encouraging him to act and not give up. As they bond over shared love for movies, Nick goes to a bar and gets drunk. On his way home, he's abducted by CIA agents, who believe Javi is connected to the kidnapping of Maria, a politician's daughter. The kidnappers hope this will influence the upcoming election. The agents want Nick's help to gather evidence against Javi. At first, Nick is reluctant but eventually agrees to help, especially after Vivian makes him consider how he would feel if it were his own daughter, Addie, in Maria's place. Nick's mission is to secretly set up cameras in Javi's compound during a party. While attempting to paralyze a guard with a drug, he accidentally applies it to his own head and starts to become paralyzed. Meanwhile, Martin and Vivian guide Nick away from the approaching guard and lead him to the room with the antidote. Unfortunately, Nick passes out before he can inject himself. To wake him up quickly, Vivian shouts "action," as a nod to his acting instincts, which prompts Nick to inject himself with the antidote. This allows him to successfully set up the cameras in the house. But his task doesn't end there. Vivian tells him to stay in the compound longer to find Maria. Nick rejoins the party downstairs and announces his collaboration with Javi on a new movie. The next day, they get a probable location for Maria, and Vivian asks Nick to check it out immediately. On his way there, Nick encounters Javi, who suggests they explore the town while under the influence of LSD. They hallucinate that people around them are watching, leading to a paranoid escape, and they act as if they're in a movie. When they return to Javi's compound, Nick discovers a shrine room dedicated to Javi's past movies, including a wax figure of Nick's character Castor Troy from the movie Face/Off, complete with golden guns. Nick is impressed by the collection and finds it hard to believe Javi is the kidnapper. However, Vivian convinces him to stay close to Javi and incorporate the kidnapping into their script, hoping it will reveal Maria's whereabouts. When Nick presents his new idea of a kidnapping subplot, Javi interprets it as Nick facing financial trouble and family issues that he needs to sort out. Thinking Nick's struggling with his career, Javi secretly brings Olivia and Addie from Los Angeles to his compound. They're scared and angry, assuming it's just another ridiculous plot in Nick's attempt to restart his career. Nick continues trying to reconcile with his family, but they reject his efforts, accusing him of prioritizing his movie career over them. Meanwhile, Javi meets Lucas privately, who reveals he was the one who kidnapped Maria under orders from the local crime boss, Sergio, whom Martin and Vivian were tracking. Lucas pressures Javi to kill Nick, or else he will kill Javi. Vivian calls Nick and orders him to eliminate Javi so the agents can arrange an escape plan for him and his family. Nick finally tells his ex-wife the truth about working for the CIA and instructs her to get ready to escape. The next morning, Nick and Javi head to the woods and have a standoff, but they can't bring themselves to harm each other after growing close. Lucas sends his men after them, leading to a fight where they race back to the house, only to find Addie has been kidnapped. Nick takes Javi, Olivia, and Gabriella to a compromised CIA safe house, where Martin has been killed, and Vivian sacrifices herself to kill the thugs. That night, they plan to rescue the girls, with Nick and Olivia posing as a criminal couple to get close to Lucas. Nick uses his acting skills and locates Addie and Maria, but they are discovered. They manage to escape, leaving Javi and Gabriella behind to buy time. They race to the American embassy with Lucas in pursuit. Lucas holds Nick at gunpoint, but Addie throws a knife to her father, which he uses to kill Lucas. This sequence of events becomes the movie that Nick and Javi completed, based on their recent adventure. A few years later, Javi's movie is produced, and Nick plays the lead role, receiving praise for his outstanding performance. He congratulates Javi and expresses pride in their new movie. Finally, Nick returns home happily with his family to watch Paddington 2, indicating that their relationship has greatly improved. Please subscribe, like, comment, and share if you enjoyed the video. See you again here on the Recaps channel.